I used to work in BT, so I got a soft
Oh,
spot
yeah,
for
yeah.
telecoms.
So we have the common background then.
Yes. Excellent. And welcome back, everyone, after lunch. Hopefully you had a well refreshed and nourished with whatever you have for lunch. I had a more basic lunch. I had running around, but I've had it now. I've got my cup of tea, so I'm ready to rock and roll. And up onto the stage to kick us off this afternoon, I'd like to welcome Johnny Shahiner, who's the Technical Solutions and Program Director at Ericsson. And obviously, telecoms is so central to our emerging digital universe and the extending array of connectivity that's going to be made possible through new emerging IoT and new network capabilities. So this is the kind of digital fabric that we need to pay attention to, because it's through that we're going to mediate most of our relationships, especially remote relationships and digital relationships with customers. And the way that new cultures within the customer environment are going to evolve and develop by virtue of these new network and digital capabilities. So Johnny's going to talk to us about connected universe and business transformation. I think 5G and beyond, and many other fascinating subjects. So Johnny, over to you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So, really glad to be here. And I like to share this experience already and the high levels on that one. Actually, he try to focus the real gist and, of course, the fundamental requirements. So, we are transforming that things right now, like Industry Revolution 4.0 and this web 3, so everything's actually is the centralized position, and then actually 5G and this digital transformation actually had the key role, and it's actually approaching that approach, and they bring that value, that contribution towards our community, towards our society. So that's why I named it as universe, because we can get data, because the data actually is the driving force. No more like last decades or like previous century, we see that one, that well or mine, a lot of things was the valuable assets. But recent and these decades, or I think it would be the future, more valuable asset will be the data, because data help us to bring that insight, that decision, that fundamental requirements we can get in a second. So it is actually really a data driven approach, and 5G actually playing the great role over there, because we have sort of like millions of things and millions of way of working we can improve, and then actually 5G. So let me share those fundamental things and the use cases. So I divided my presentation in a two part. One actually is the 5G and its use case, and then the data we are getting or collecting from, and we could be, because there is a potentiality. So those things we can collect, and we can bring that emerging our business transformation, business value, digital transformation, and we can create that impactful thoughts. So where actually we can address, right now we are facing, or we're passing through so many uncertainty, ambiguity, but these things actually, this data and this connectivity will give us so much intelligence and smartness. So let me share my screen to you. So this is me, Johnny. So just a small description that actually I'm having this solid 20 years experience in data analysis, blockchain, cloud solution, automation, digital transformation, AI, ML with this 5G. and I'm transforming and for our customer bring that value, that requirement, so those challenges. So let's, these are the agenda, so one by one. So 5G and beyond, actually let's discuss little bit, though is basic, but it will be more visibility, it will bring that one, and to be create that value. So what's actually uniqueness of 5G? 5G has this capability from industrialization, like from the 4G till the 4G, it was the human to human networking. But right now, no more these are the relevant, or this is not the only significant. Right now, we can create the network, we can communicate industry to industry, city to city. That's why we call it smart society, smart connectivity. It's so many centralized things we can do via this 5G. And what actually the feature help us? One actually EMBB, so enhance mobile broadband. This is the connectivity. So it is hence. So much speed actually. Sometime some use cases actually we need that speed, not for the only gaming, not for only movie, but also like VR, AR. So smart city concept. So in that space, actually, we really need that much speed. And then second point is URLLC. So what's actually meaning that? This is quite ultra reliable and low latency communication. So in some case like smart card or smart transportation. So we already tested, we Ericsson already tested so many customer with customer, especially this driverless car, connected car, and low, no so many name we can do it. But this is like kind of part of our smart city or smart life. So in that space, we need to decide it within nanosecond, and how we can do that one. So in that case, we need ultra reliable and the low latency. So actually, 5G bring that things, and actually is the massive machine type communication. So we have the density one, like in a same place, like millions of people in a same place, same different type of tons of millions devices, it need to be connected. So in that case we need this type of capability, and good, and thanks to 5G that's actually bring that one. So this is overall, and you can see that actually I in my slide I have added so many things, but I can't go through all these things. But actually is the key things is that this artificial intelligence and industry automation and other things, critical communication, self-drive car, this is actually is the key use cases. I have a few slides later on. Just in a minute, I will discuss those part in a short version. But actually, in our whole life, like enter our life, we can transform that one. It could be digitalized, and it will bring the value. It will not hamper in our private life or us things. That's why we have also enhanced cybersecurity policy. Then actually is the all these cyber quality, then data protection, lot of things actually in our regulatory we can do that one. But beyond that one we can create this value for that. So I already discussed, but it is actually hyper connectivity. So you can see all these parameter are latency 10x. So latency actually less. So the latency actually means the delay time. So it is 10 time is decreased, and throughput like speed is increased. Density means the which area you belongs. There is a so many device using, but it still is connected. And sometimes it's a beyond to the reach. Like sometimes we cannot reach in a generic network or broadband network or something, uh, fiber optics and other things. We can't do that one. So in that space, so like a firefighter or some mine employee, they never did that one, and that was so many threat. And there actually we are playing the good role, and to create the value for safety of our people, safety of the business, safety of the society. So and then capacity. So huge, I would say, area, and then the capacity can be increased. So like so many user, can use different type of service, multiple service like a smartphone, and including all these services could be integrated with that one, and we can create that channel or fiber, so could be connected to all these services in align with that one. So what is the driving value for 5G? 5G actually is the peak speed is quite faster, so is the 10x than the 4G. So it's quite huge. In a second, you can download, you can do the HD or VR thing, so it will very very high. And then latency with this IoT. So in a health sector, in a energy sector, right now in Europe we are facing this energy crisis, but we can bring that value because energy is a quite wastage because of some mismanagement, like management not in a human but in a technology, because we cannot monitor in a proper way, in a generic way in analog technology, but in a digital transformation we can do, and we can trace down any type of fault, any type of remote area we can trace down immediately, where the generic technology or the before 5G is, it was seems like impossible. That's why actually sometime we used to say imagine is possible, so anything we can imagine, and then actually we can bring that one in a reality on a life. And of course this artificial intelligence, so it will be work as a platform technology, but we can use all these things, use cases together and increase this capacity. So this is needed because every day we are creating the use cases, we are using that one in a different way, like right now we are the smart home, smart communication, everything actually it was not connected, like my refrigerator previously it was not connected, my air cooler was not is connected, industrial air cooler or metering it was not connected, but it's now it could be in a centralized position, and we can bring everything in a cloud, and we can connect each other with our main data server, and then actually increase need to be capacity need to be increased on that space. So this is the value driven factors for the 5G. Then actually 5G and smart society, I already little bit highlight on which could be the use cases, but smart society actually what does mean is means actually what actually we do during our society or social life. So everything would be or could be, we can go to the digitalized, it could be connected and it will be automated. Right now we are in a travel for example, but what happening in my home I can track down everything in a second, in a like I have the application, so I can do anything I want, so I can do that one. But also this is not the limiting for my home, this is also a limit add can add in my industry, my society. So everywhere I can may make this possible to connect it and bring that one as a smart way to do these things. So this is not only the speed 5G definitely, though it is it could be the gigabit speed will be the gigabit 20 1 to 20 gigabit per second, and this actually will help us to location sensing like IoT and other things, is enterprise application, lot of things, device to device communication. So real time insight, anything's happen, actually I have the real use cases, this real time insight, so I will discuss that part in my later of my session. And as I mentioned, so AR, VR, and MR, we can do right now. We can transform our visual experiences, and this actually is driving to the our Web3 lives. Like all things, it will be like right now. We already habituated with the smart work, right? Work from home, remote work, and other things. But all this experience could be converted to this visual experience, and 5G actually will play the great role on it, this space. Then multi-user experiences, like for military training, their simulation, their things. Then firefighter, I already mentioned that one. And then industry environment, mining in industry. So these multiple user experience we can create there. Then hyper connectivity, so all type of city, like air quality, flood level, then is traffic information, temperature, everything we can control and we can deal with the smart technology. Because if I get to know my things is like a little bit earlier, or what is the exactly real time experience, so then lot of decision actually I can make it, I can bring that impact. And then it's actually autonomous future, so everything will be it could be autonomous. So urban air mobility, smart port, then autonomous vessel or self-drive car, so all things is could be connected and we can do that one. Okay, so this is the main point, and then actually I like to discuss a little bit how actually digital transformation work and how we can do. So this is the uh, framework actually personally I built, and they based on my industry experience and other things. So one things actually during this transformation, especially what I find there is a challenge for our e-commerce, banking sector, health sector, energy sector. So leadership have to be agile, and then they have to come with the real vision, real strategy, real planning. Then what resource actually we really need? Intellectual expertise, because without expertise everything we can build, but this expertise if we cannot bring that one in a table, so it will not be things. And then we need the financial support to bring those things, innovation, intellectual expertise and other things, experimentation. So in that space actually we need the finance support on that part. And then that technology train actually we need to build up, then R&D and the innovation, research and development. So we have to be any type of transformation, we need this R&D and the innovation. And then we need to bring, like this will be output of my R&D, the tools and process, because everything what we are trying to transform, it was not before or it was not existing. So we need to bring some new things, some new way, better way that we can develop. So in that space we need that too. Then we need that implementation, so intellectual expert, which actually are my resources. So this is only not only the human expertise, but also these tools and process. So it should be property and that expertise which have this capability of development. So then once we have this, and of course my team, they have to have skills. So this is not only that soft skills like leadership, communication, but also this is really dig down, deep dive for that implementation. So in that space, actually, we can create this. And what transformation actually bring that value? So this is the next slide. So this could be that framework for how we can build our initiation for my industry. It is regardless of which vertical I belongs or which vertical actually I will be. But in that space, if we have a really, really great platform, I would not say this is the unique or you have to be only one this platform, but this type of framework we need to have. Otherwise, somewhere we lose, because it could be challenge, it could be really really problematic if we didn't have we don't have the real knowledge or a real process for the framework and implementation in mindset. Then actually our status quo will be somehow hold, or they will demotivate us to bring that value. So that's why we need some kind of framework. So I believe this could be helpful. This is helpful only, but this is not the mandatory. But mandatory is that framework need to be there, need to be placed. So what type of technology, like internet, like we already familiar with internet of things, but now it should be everything. So like everything could be sensible, it could be measurable, could be accessible. So these things actually need to be. So that's why we call that one IOE. Then data analysis, big data, artificial intelligence, blockchain, automation. So this that technology actually help us to bring that framework and this real business transformation, which will be with our digital transformation. Then actually platform like where we can do these things, renewable energy, because we have facing these things, and now we have to be think about, our business leader have to be think about what type of source of energy we can use, and we can, like we can remove or we can bring that things actually less using that traditional source of the energy. Then we need to build cloud and infrastructure, that crowdsourcing. So always finance actually will one of the driving force, because this is not the front end I would say, or it will not be the face value of our transformation, but we need that one in our background. So if we don't have our own, so crowdsourcing could be the one solution of that one. Then robotics and social media and media platform, what is the power of these two things I will discuss a little bit later. And then we need to go for this innovative society, that is means society could be the innovative way, that is actually right now this doesn't exist, but it will be. Then we can bring those things like smart governance, smart energy, agriculture, health, transportation, everything actually we can bring this one. Smart actually here means that one better way to work, better way to think, better way to take the decision. So just freeing, I will not go to the that detail, but for time constant. But I would say this is the will be the framework type of use cases actually we can use, like ICT and communication will be smarter. How? So we can use this one 5G, IoT, machine to machine, big data. Like this is the part of the analytics, and of course ML and AI. Then actually we can create everything, like if it's the centralized position right now also we are doing, but if we can create that one more data driven approach, so then actually everything we can connect it and it will be implemented. This is not anymore, I would say, imaginary, but this is reality. Then manufacture in this industry is already implemented in several of our client or customer. uh, it is not only the manufacture for the machineries, but also our transportation and others. So they are also try to bring everything as a automated and smart way to do dealing those things. So here actually main 3 point I would say, this is enable actually our human and machine partnership. So few things actually we can do, a machine can do some things actually we can contribute with human based on our experience, our instinct, and then actually it need to be partner. So some case actually we can do better than machine, and machine something they can do better than us, and finalize, like that's the team approach. So this is the beauty of the, I would say, this collective genius. So this is the quote from the famous Harvard professor Linda Hill. She her research actually bring this collective genius, like who have the most potentiality genius and the capability from the team specific field, so he will contribute on that space. And another guy she has might be another skills and another expertise, so she will contribute on that space. So it will be adding value each other and as a team. So this is the same concept we can bring as a human and machine partnership. And then this automation, artificial intelligence, and this smart, all this technology not only limited for the manufacturing, but also all this vertical we can do that one if we can make sure this partnership. And then autonomous and robotics, so we have to be maintained and we can control those robot. And we also already implemented several our client those things, robotics and automation, how we can like faster this manufacturing process, and of course operational excellence and entrepreneurial strategy, because we sometimes we need to have change very frequently, and we need to adopt this one. So that's why entrepreneurial strategy actually need to be in a place. then we can bring this sustainable and zero emission carbon also is possible, though we are targeting already and we are working, but I think it will be more influence towards that direction. Then a smart factory, this is mainly for manufacturing, and also we can do the similar idea we can bring to our manufacturing industry, also in our e-commerce. These things actually will be really, really, and of course that e-commerce when it's about warehouse, so this could be mimic, this could be copy in those there's industry. So inventory management, tracking losses, then actually sensor from the video camera or other things, then actually automated guided vehicles, and then collaborative robotics. So this is the framework, but yeah, we can modify accordingly requirements. So this is not a limiting factor to be in this five sector and other things. This is just an example where actually we can focus. So also in the farming, because European, so many countries actually they're focusing this sector, and we already doing in our Ireland and in Germany. So many successful project, and back in US as well. So there is so many successful project on smart agriculture and this regulation, so we can follow. But there actually one things like which was beyond our uh, broadband or generic internet or data connectivity capacity, where actually adding value for 5G. And in fintech and finances sector, economical sector, we also can do that one. So bring our blockchain technology. Then blockchain technology doesn't mean that only it had to be uh, the cryptocurrency, but it could be the transparency, because this concept based the DLT and other things, this is really playing value for and bring value for this table on that one. And then we can do this risk analysis and other things, promising factors, and peer-to-peer lending, any lending or anything. So we can, and this is really great play for decentralize the system and the technology. Okay, so I will not go that one. So actually, business, smart business. Actually, there are few category if we can categorize, and we can follow that one. Strategy, it will be there. Operational excellence, supply chain, then development or manufacture, and then transform the core processes of the business, any kind of business, and then innovation. So if we can combine this framework, then really a business, it could be transformed, it could be innovative, and of course we can reshape our business on that space. So just for the high level, so when we have the data source right now for 5G, artificial intelligence, connectivity, social network, everything actually creating this. So these things actually bring value for like Amazon. This is the e-commerce big example. They have the data which actually effective customer, what their profile, what is these things. So they're really doing the good business on this is the one of aspect. That's why they're doing this platform strategy, like every sector now they are grabbing. So even Google also, they have the all this data. So that's why actually source of data is quite important. Then actually we can transform, we can lead what actually a business aspect is needed. And then OLP data mining, like we can process those things, we can create the report, and then actually we can take decision. So like for example, again I will back to the AWS or Amazon business. So you can see that one, I think you all, everyone, we already have this experience. Any book we like to check, even not on the order, we just want to check what is the condition in Amazon, and then immediately or Netflix, they immediately offering us the similar kind of thing. So this is the real example of this business transformation. Like you know your customer when you have the data, you know the market, you know the value, what will be the future. So then actually you can propose a really decision. So I think this is one of the part but I will go very well. So all these source we can use as a source of our data. Then I can get my brand visualize, like I can create my hub. That's actually one of application my team developed. So that's things actually I'm bringing. So you have the visibility what happening all over world about your brand, your organization, your company, your team. You can see that one, any type of things in a internet, so you can grab immediately real time data. So that's why we call this is the brand virtual hub. So you can get every information about your company. So this is my slice. Then you can analyze those social network and non-social network. Non-social network, I mean that one like some website, some blogs and other things. It is not in Facebook, not in YouTube, not in LinkedIn, but those things actually you can analyze immediately. So this is the application, branding 360. So my team actually can do that one. And then you can manage your reputation, what is actually happening, someone is tweet, someone positive feedback, customer feedback, and these things. Based on this managed reputation, you can build your brand, your product, your service for your customers. So you will be always in the advance of that one. And 5G actually really playing great value, because as I mentioned, like lot of use cases we cannot imagine even when 5G actually was in a place. But right now we can think, we can connect everything, we can use internet or data connectivity anywhere, we can bring that all the services, application, everything is smart. So then actually we can track based on this market research tracking. So for the market research, we have to be have bring right now even we have to be bring the data analytical team. They work like maybe 10 how 10 headcount, or maybe similar, they have their manager, they have their facilities and other things. But if you have some kind of a small application, you can just click on that one, and then actually it will, or you set in your PC, your monitor, then actually you can see from there. So train of the market, train of the things, you can immediately see about your organization, your team, your business. So this is quite emerging and impactful for any business on that part. Then actually for last four slides, actually what I mentioned, so you can do the lot of things. And then now I'm discussing about how it create the value. So you will get the sales lead or other things, so you can see, and even you can track down your any particular promotion, marketing event, so you can see and you can find your sales lead. Right now, even for when I work for Ericsson or maybe Huawei, maybe for Cisco, right now we have to be discussed, we have to be find out to bring this sales lead from our BT, Vodafone, Deutsche Telekom, Telecom Italy. But we can bring this, and then we can track down our competition, like who are our competitor. And we can value that how they are performing, what is their business strategy. So I can not only focus on my business, I can go know my competitor and the market. I think this is quite fascinating and is quite impactful. Then you can have everything in your mobile. You can just set an alert, and every time it's anything positive, anything big things, it you need to concern, so you will get this type of things by alerting to you. And then a lot of example, lot of website we build. So this is one educational website, everything like all over world, whenever any type of scholarship, job, so you can find there. You just click, and there is another use cases for travel related. So anywhere you are in a this country, so maybe sometime you don't find the real information in Google, or like there is a lot of information but you cannot extract, but there actually you can extract that information, what actually you needed. Other things actually I will not go. So how these things, so this is my last slide, and then actually I will go for Q&A. So it is really reshaping your business. So reshaping means actually what the business you are doing right now, but in future it will not be the same way you are doing, but it will be the better way. Reshape doesn't mean that you will go to the backward direction. No, you will always move to the forward direction. Then when you have the data, so you can winning your trust for your customer, and you can build the resilience. That is the strength. So whenever you make any decision, any offer to your customer, it will be quite strong because you have data driven. You nobody asks you and there is a something is a skeptical and you are going for that one. No, because you have the real data and multiple data, multiple source of data. So you can bring that resilient offer, a resilient proposal, and also you can build your service and product based on that and solution of the also. Then understand that real requirement. So your internal and external stakeholder, data driven insight. Then this is the realization of the market demand and direction of the innovation. So actually you need, when you have the data, you have the insight, then actually you will go to the innovative way. That's why whenever innovation actually is a fight with the traditional one, always is win, right? This is the one, this is maybe last decade example, but still iPhone actually is the, you see this is the really innovative, and how direction could be changed all over the system, all over the technology, and it could be the platform of the smartness. Not only one sector, like we are going to the talk about, we have to discuss, we are like not a small services even. So we can bring those value to that. And second example is the Amazon. This is only e-commerce, and other lot of like millions of e-commerce business is present in our globe, right? So but no one have this impact or power in a market or domination in the market as Amazon have. So that's all from my side. Now we can move to the Q&A.
Okay, Johnny, we've actually gone several minutes over time, and our next speaker I know is very restricted on time, so we won't be able to squeeze in Q&A. But I think you've given us a really powerful overview of the impact that 5G provides in terms of the connectivity between machines that make possible between systems that create ecosystems, like a digital skin being laid over our world that our organizations can tap into, connect to bigger ecosystems, but also utilize to improve the way that they run their internal processes to become more effective and more efficient. So you've given us a wonderful overview of that, Johnny, but I'm afraid we're going to have to wrap it up there. But thank you so much for coming and presenting to us.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.